go. Okay, let's start with the magic circle. Here's our end. Bring it over our pointer, crisscross back over, hold it down with your middle finger. We're going to get our hook and go under here and grab that. Pull it through, okay? Get your finger out. Here's our tail over here. Working yarn, we're gonna, what I call chain one or secure it. Go through. Everybody has different ways of making magic circles. I actually just switched mine to this way because it seemed a little easier than my other way, but whatever way you guys want to do is fine. And you can always look up a ton of ways on YouTube to do the magic circle. Okay, chain one. We're going to do 12 half double crochets into this circle, okay? Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Eleven more. Yarn over, go into the circle, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. And what we're doing also is we're going to work on over on top of this tail. So yarn over, keep this tail tight with the circle, go through, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, go through, keep your tail tight with the other, yarn over, hold the tail right on with your circle, pull up, pull through all 3. Yarn over, tail, circle together, go under, pull up a loop, tail and circle together, right? Hold them together. Yarn over, pull through all 3. Okay. Keep going, yarn over, hold both of these, go in, yarn over, hold both of these, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, go into the circle, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull all 3. And see how we're working over the tail? See how it's stuck in the middle instead of hanging out down here? Yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull up a loop, go through all 3. Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 more. Yarn over, go into the loop, pull up, try to keep it loose, yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, go in, pull up a loop. When you pull up that loop, just keep it loose. In the beginning of crochet, I used to keep everything so tight, then it makes it harder to go through. Yarn over, go through, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through all 3. Let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're not going to count this chain 2 as a stitch on this row, okay? So we have 12. We're going to join to our first, see this right here? We're not going to join in 1 or 2 of the chain. Let's do a slip stitch to join into the top. We're right there. Yarn over, pull through that, and pull through that one. Okay, our first round is done. Here's our tail. We're going to pull that. See how it's closing up? Just pull that as tight as you can. And we've closed up the bottom of the basket. Okay, round 2. Chain 2. 1, 2. 2 half double crochets in each stitch around. Since we joined in that first one, we are going to count this as our first half double crochet. So we're going to yarn over and go into that same hole that we did the slip stitch. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, we're going to pull through all 3. So that is 1, 2. 2 more in each stitch. So 2 more here, 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 and all the way around. Yarn over, here's our next spot. Go in, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. So we have 1 in there, now we have to do another. Yarn over, go through the hole. Need more slack. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through all 3. Okay, so now we have 4. 1, 2 in the first hole, 3, 4 in the next, then 2 more here, 2 more, and so on. And I'll meet you back here to show you where we're going to slip stitch, okay? All right, I'm on my second to last stitch. I already have 1 in there. There's 2, and then we're going to go into this last one here, right where we started that one. Yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through all 3. Yarn over, go through, pull up, yarn over, go 3. That's your last half double crochet. You should have 24. And we're going to slip stitch, not in 1 or 2, the very first, which is the double V up here. We're going to slip stitch into the first half double crochet. So we're going to go in right here. Yarn over, pull through, pull through. All right, so this is what it's looking like. Make it a little bigger and then we'll start coming up, okay? Chain 2, 1, 2. Okay, after we chain 2, we're going to put a half double crochet in the same stitch that we did our chain 2 out of, that our slip stitch went into. So we're going to yarn over, go in that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. So we have 2 in this one stitch. We're going to put 1 in the next, 1 half double crochet in the next hole. And we're going to put 2 in this next stitch. So that's 1. Go in the same stitch and do a second one. So right now we have 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third. So that means we're going to put 1 in the next stitch. And then 2 in this next one. Here's 1. We need 1 more in there. And there's 2. So we have 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. the next one will get 1, the next stitch will get 2, and we'll continue around that 2, 1, 2, 1 all the way around, and then I'll show you the slip stitch and we'll start our next round. Okay, so we're on the end of round 3. I just did 2 in this second to last stitch. My last stitch is here. I'm going to do, let's see, we did 2 here. I'm going to do 1 here, 1 half double crochet, and then we're going to slip stitch. Here's our chain 1, here's our chain 2. We're going to slip stitch in this V up here, our first half double crochet, bring it through, bring it through. Now we're on row 4. For this row, we're just going to chain 1. We are going to do a single crochet all the way around into the back loop only. So normally we would go under here, under both loops here. This is the front, this is the back loop. We're going to go right under here and just do a single crochet. And we're going to do this all the way around, and that's just going to give us a little edge on the bottom of our basket. So let's do that, and I'll come back and show you how we're going to slip stitch and start our next round. So just go all the way around, single crochet, back loop only. Okay, so I'm at my last stitch here. I'm going to go into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through both. That's a single crochet. And we're going, here's our first chain 1 here. Let's go right into there and do our slip stitch. And if it's hard to find, look for that tight one. It should be a little tight. Yarn over, pull through. You can see that's tight. Pull through. So there's our slip stitch. So we did 1, 2, 3. That was our 4th round. This is going to be our little edge here at the bottom of our basket. Next round, round 5, chain 2, 1, 2. And from here on out, it's going to be easy because we're going to do 1 half double crochet in each stitch around. And that is going to start build. This is our bottom of our basket. That is going to start building up our basket to the height we want. So 1 half double crochet, yarn over, next stitch is right here. There's our chain 2. Next stitch is here, yarn over, go through, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. Okay, next stitch. So just keep doing that all the way around. I'll meet you back and we'll join and start our next row. Here I am at the end of our row. I have 1 more half double crochet to make in here. Okay, so that was our last one. Here's where we started, right here, our chain 2. We're not going to go into the stitch here, okay? That's connected to our very first chain 2. We're going to do our slip stitch. There's our chain 1 and 2. We're going to do our slip stitch into our first half double crochet. Pull that through and through. Another round made. As you can see, we're starting to curve up already. Okay? So what I want you to do is just, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, yarn over. First place you're going to go in is not here because your chain 2 is going to be considered your half double crochet. So the next space you're going to go into is right here. We're going to do 1 half double crochet all the way around, and I'm going to meet you back when we run out of rope. So when you run out, meet me back here and I'll show you how to attach the next rope that we need and also put on our rings. So real quick, I just wanted to say I actually thought I would have enough rope to get through at least another round, but depending how tightly or loosely you crochet, I'm actually almost at my end at this very next round. So what I'm going to do is get my next one in here. But before I attach this in, I show you guys how to attach this in, we're going to add the silicone beads, okay? Not beads, rings, silicone rings. We're going to add the silicone rings. And I will actually, see how this is fraying? Put a little Scotch tape around the tip, just makes it easier to go through. So that's the next thing I'll show you is putting those on, which are easy, and then we will attach this rope into our basket, okay? Okay, so here we go. I have my silicone rings that I ordered off Etsy, which are definitely thicker than the rainbow loom knit rubber bands that I decided to double up. 2 of these together still doesn't really come as thick as that, but I figured if you didn't want to wait to order these, everybody has these lying around. I think they still actually sell all these rubber bands. You could try that, and actually I've never even tried to see how it looks, so we'll do this together. All right, so I have a rainbow mix, so I just kind of grabbed a bunch of colors of those, and I'm just gonna put them on in any order. Try to not put 2 colors together, God forbid. I'll put these on first, then I'll put these on, and then we will attach our new rope into our existing basket. All right, so put all them on and meet me back. Okay, so we are going to attach our second rope. So what we're going to do with this old rope, we're at our end here, almost at our end. Don't let it get too short. Leave a little slack, okay? Maybe 8 inches or so. We're going to yarn over. We're going to go into our next space. And we're going to drop it. Just leave that go. Get your new rope, okay? Make a little bit of a loop. Put that on. And we're going to pull that through our hole, okay? Drop that end over there too with the other end. So we have our new rope, yarning over, and pull through all 3 loops just like a half double crochet. Pull down on the new rope on the other ends that we left, okay? So we're going to leave these ends and we'll weave them in later. And then we go on to our next half double crochet with our new rope, all right? I'm going to show you guys that one more time because sometimes it's a little tricky if you've never done it before. So I'm going to pull out our new rope. Okay, so we're at the end of our first rope. We're going to yarn over. We're going to go into the next half double crochet space, okay? Normally we would yarn over and pull up a loop. We're just going to drop that old rope, grab the end of our new rope, leave a tail so we can weave it in. Just make a loop and put that on, okay? So here's our tail. We're going to leave that down with the other tail, and we're going to pull up a loop, all right? So here's the new tail, drop it down with the old tail, they can be together. We pulled up a new loop and we're going to yarn over with the new rope and pull through all 3 to make our half double crochet. You can tighten if it seems loose, pull on your new rope and then pull on the tails and just tighten that up, okay? So we have our 2 end tails, our old and new rope over there. Leave them alone for now. We'll weave them in later. And we're just going to continue on our row. I'm at the end of the row, so I only have another one to do for my, so we'll continue on just like a regular half double crochet with our new rope now. Okay. And we're not going to go into this space because that was our last one, because if we pull it apart like that, it looks like you should be going in there. But if you actually pull it up the way it should be, you're not going to want to go into that space. It's going to look bunchy. So if we pull it up, we don't want to go in that space, okay? We're going to connect right up here. Here's our chain 1, chain 2. Here's our first half double crochet. We know that because we have the V up here, the 2. And if you were to try to connect over here, you don't have that double, okay? That was our chain 1, chain 2, first half double crochet. So just go into there for our slip stitch. New rope, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through. So we're done another round, and we added our new rope. You see how that looks, not bunched up. They all look spread out evenly, okay? Chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're just going to keep going. 1 half double crochet in each stitch around. So we're not going in here, right? Because that's our chain 2 space. We're going to go right in here. I'm at the end, almost at the end of my round. So let's finish up that last half double crochet. Okay, see this? Pull that together. We don't want to go in that one, okay? Slip stitch the top of the first half double crochet. All right, let's add some rings. We're just going to chain 1 this round, okay? First set of loom knit rings, rubber bands, whatever you want to call them, are coming down. What we're going to do is actually put them right over your crochet hook, okay? Push them down next to your rope. Just single crochet, no yarn over. So we have the rings on, going into our next space, yarn over, pull up a loop, okay? So we have the pulled up loop, the rubber band, and the other rope, okay? Yarn over, we're going to go through all 3, kind of almost like a half double crochet. Go through the rubber bands and go through that last rope. Ta-da! Okay, next one. Bring down the 2, put them over in your crochet hook, okay? Going in our next space, yarn over, pull up a loop. We have these 3 on, okay? Yarn over, and we're going to pull through that. We're actually going through the rubber bands and through the last loop on the hook, okay? Next set, coming down. Put them over your crochet hook, going into our next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. So loop, rubber bands, loop, yarn over, and go through all 3. Go through the rubber bands, go through that last. Okay, next one's coming down. Get it in there. All right. See that? Going in to our next stitch, pull up a loop, all 3 are on. We're going through all 3, through the rope first, through the rubber bands, and right on through to the next piece of rope. There we go. So we're getting some color in there. Whoop, whoop. Next one. Let's get them on there. Once you get the hang of this, it'll go quicker. Next stitch, pull up a loop, go through all 3. Okay, next one. Going through our next stitch, pulling up a loop, yarn over, go through all. Okay, we're going to do this all the way around. Each stitch is going to get the loom knit rubber bands. You could do one, you could do two, you could do three of these if you strung them on. All right, next one. I just did put the two together, same colors, and you can mix the colors. That doesn't matter either. Whatever you guys want to do. Sure, it'll look fabulous when you're done. Okay, I'll do one more, then I'll shut off the camera. And if this happens, see how these, because these are loose, just, if they get out of order, put them back in order, bring them down. They're pretty flexible. Okay. Go through all three. And so this is what it's looking like. Make sure I'm in camera. Looks pretty neat. Has some color now in our white basket, which is going to look very neat when we're done. And if you wanted to, now that I'm looking at it, you could do every row like this. You could do the last three. You could do every other row if you wanted to add more color. I'm just going to do the top part, but you know, play around with it. Once you get the stitches down, you'll know what to do. All right, go all the way around, and I'll meet you back here, okay? Okay, so I just finished putting my rubber bands on my last stitch. We're not going in here, remember? We're going to slip stitch to our first stitch that we started the round in, okay? Chain one. And now we're going to start putting on these thicker silicone rings, okay? So we just chained one, slide down our first ring, and just like the other ones, we're going to put it through, okay? These won't slide as easily as the other ones because they're a little thicker, but that's fine. Slide it down. We're going to go into this here, this stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Make sure you don't get caught on the rubber band there. Yarn over just like the last row, pull through the silicone ring and through the rope, just like the last ones. It's going to be just a little bit tougher because these are thicker, okay? Bring down our next one, put it through our hook. All right, going into our next stitch. Pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all three that are on the hook. Okay, next one comes down over the crochet hook. So we went into here, we're going into the next one here. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first loop, which is the rope, the second loop, which is the ring, and the third in the rope. And it just gets it in there. Doesn't it look neat? Gotta push these rings down. Okay, same thing all the way around, all right? Bring your next one up. Put it through your crochet hook, okay? Going through the next one, yarn over, pull up a loop. So we have the rope, silicone ring, the rope. We're going to yarn over, go through the rope, go through the silicone ring and the rope. Do this all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end, and I'll show you how we slip stitch there. All right, it's looking good. Okay, I just finished up my last stitch here. I'm not going to go in there and make a stitch, okay? And I'm going to slip stitch right here as usual. And I decided this time I'm going to use up, for some reason I have 2 silicone rings left, so I'm going to recount and give you guys the exact amount you need. I'm going to put one on my slip stitch. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I wanted to put just some color here, so put it in. bring through, and then bring through the ring. It's tight, and bring through there, just like a slip stitch. Okay, so here's our basket. If you want, you can stop here. I'm going to add one last row to this, just to give it one lip up top. And for that one, we're going to chain one, and we're just going to slip stitch in each stitch around. Say that fast 3 times. And then we're done. Woohoo! All right. So we just did our chain one here. We're going to do our first. This is our chain one right there, so we're not going to go in there. We're going to slip stitch in here, okay? Going to go in, yarn over, pull through, and pull through again. Next stitch, go in, yarn over, pull through, pull through. Next stitch, same thing all the way around. Okay? Now these, actually let me tell you this, these are hard to see where you end, where you actually started. So when you come back around, you might be confused. I'm just going to remember that I started on this green ring. If you have similar colors right here, just put a little stitch marker, piece of yarn, something there, so you know where you began, because it's kind of hard to tell when you just do slip stitch. So continue on. Do your slip stitch all the way around. And then we're going to end here and we're done. And then we have to remember, weave in our end pieces where we join the rope, and weave in our last stitch here, and weave in our bottom where we started our tail. All right, meet you back. I'm back around to where I started because I remember I had that green ring as my marker. I'm going to slip stitch right into that last hole there, right next to it. And then I'm actually going to slip stitch into that chain one there, because this is a little loose. I just want to make it tighter. So do one more slip stitch in there. Okay. Cut that. We're just going to pull that through where we cut. Pull that and tighten it. Okay. Now this is too thick to go through a yarn needle to weave in the end, so we'll just use our crochet hook. Okay. And here's the thing though. So we're not going to weave this in on this inside part, because this inside is actually the outside of our basket. We are going to turn this basket inside out. Because if you remember, we did that one row where we chained one and we crocheted into the back loop only. Remember that? Well, that's what gave us this little lip here. Can you see that? That nice little round lip, and that looks good for our bottom. If you don't like, I mean, it looks similar inside and outside, so you could do it either way. But because I did make that little ridge round, I think it's good for the bottom. And all we have to do now is weave in our ends. So let's do that. Okay, so I have it, the right side is out. This is where we ended. We want to bring this and weave that into this inside, so we don't have it out there on the outside. Okay, grab your crochet hook. See, so it's kind of going this way, so let's go in right in here. Okay, let's see if you can see that. So from the inside, let's go under these double loops in from the inside. It doesn't really matter. Grab this piece, so you can see I'm going to grab it in, pull it in there to hide it. All right, this tail doesn't need to be that long. Okay, so now we have it on the inside. So this doesn't get loose and come out. We'll just weave it through a couple more places. It doesn't really matter. Try to hide it. So let's see. I like this spot right here. I can probably, if you have a smaller crochet hook, that might even, I'm going to go under these two. That might even be better to use, but I'm too lazy to go get one. All right, let's bring that down. See if we can hide it in there. Come on. All right, so we got it in there, and let's go. Ooh, let's go under these rubber bands. Let's hide it under there. Grab it one more time. Hide it anywhere. It doesn't matter. All right. It came in this way. I think I'm just going to try and maybe just bring it across a couple of these right here. All right. Because I never know when to stop because I'm a nutball. All right. I think that's deep enough. Oh my gosh. I want to go even more. Stop. Stop. Okay. So pull it a little tight. Cut it. So when you pull it back a little, it's kind of like hidden under there. Okay. So we just weaved in that where we ended our last row. Our other ones we need to weave in are actually on the inside of this. So let's flip it back so it's easier. So here's our very starting tail where we did our magic circle. All right. So we're going to hide that right in that circle. Now for this one, I am going to grab, because that magic circle is tight, this bigger crochet hook that we use throughout is probably going to be really tight here. So I'm going to grab just a smaller crochet hook. Okay, I'm back and I grabbed a smaller crochet hook. I ended up grabbing an 5.5 millimeter hook. Doesn't matter. All right, so this kind of seems to be going this way. So I'm going to pull it through 3 of these loops under here. See if I can grab that. Oh, I saw my tape on there. Okay. There we go. I'm not going to get crazy with it because it's kind of tight down here. Let's just cut that. Now this is going to be on the inside, so don't worry about it. Here we go, hidden. And our other 2, these are from when we joined our second rope. All right. We're still inside out, so we can leave these on the outside. And I'm going to weave this one. Start with this one. I'm going to just bring through here. So I could probably go back to the bigger crochet hook. I probably should do. Can I get it? Yes. All right. Because I have to keep going. One more. All right, good enough. Make me stop. Let's cut that. And this one, let's go the opposite way. Let's go, see these 3? Let's go. Get a tight one in there. Let's go through there. And these 3. All right. Let's turn it back the way it's supposed to be. Oh, because there's our lip. There we go. We did it. I think it looks great. I wasn't sure about the rainbow loom, but I think they look fine. So go hunting for those. Steal them from your kids, okay? There's our basket.